thought I'm in dark and I want to shed some light. Trying to get the right light. I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at. The right light is you. And the light that I want to shed right now is an interesting one because normally I like to meditate and do these things in the morning, but for some reason the time is getting later. And it doesn't matter what time it is because whatever time it is where you are. And I want to talk about God. God, man, that's a hard topic for a lot of people because if you're like an atheist, you don't believe in God. But what if God believes in you? Most atheists like to rock with science. And scion in the word science etymologically just means to know. So that's God, basically, for science, but it's just a word. What I was learned and taught by the great teachings of the great champion of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and overstanding, Dr. Phil Valentine, was how much we create as humanoids. And we create concepts like God. No way to even understand God without a human consciousness to be able to articulate it. So when Dr. Phil Valentine talked about how man created God, it threw me for a loop coming from a very religious background. Religion, the re in it is key because it just means repetition and doing something over and over and over and over. And that's how you get programmed. Beware of bad programming. There's a lot of good programming in books, not religion, but in philosophies and books. So the thing about God is this. Everything that we believe and know about it is a hypothesis at best and an anti-thesis at worst. So it's an educated guess at best, and at worst, I don't know, man, what would you call it? An anti-thesis, a philosophy? You see? Because there's no way to understand what it is without having a sense of program that you were given. So, how do you understand your mother? How do you understand your father? I experience. And I did a monologue a while back where I said, are you experiencing God or explaining God? What's more important? The experience or the explanation? Come on, man. You know you want to experience this. If you tell me that God is all that you say God is and can do all that you say and believe that God can do, would you want to explain that or experience that? That's just a question. When we're talking about experiencing God, know that it is you and you're either raising hell or bringing heaven down, bringing heaven down, bringing heaven down. Either way, it's going to meet you in the middle. So where are you at in this? And there's nothing wrong with either one. Sometimes you need to raise a little hell. But there are also times where you got to bring heaven down. So be aware of that. Bring heaven down to right where you are. You can. And then that way, you ain't going to need to go up. You're going to just be right there where heaven is. And if you're raising hell, be prepared to deal with the karmic effects of it. Because it's a destructive energy. But it should be only a destructive energy that is designed for a specific purpose. This is God flooded the earth, and he talk about fire and brimstone coming back in the apocalypse. Saying, man, that sounds like raising hell to me. That ain't no heaven in that. So when you talk about the fear of God, it's because the potential for it to be bad is very high. So you can't play around with it. It's a real thing. Anything bad that can happen only can happen on the watch of the Creator and the Most High. But it will only happen through you. How powerful are you? Don't sell yourself short. So, with all that, activate what the experience is. Because if God is love, which most of us believe, let's activate that. If you're looking at that Old Testament and God is vengeful and God's going to destroy, be careful with that. But some things karmically need to be destroyed for the purpose of being rebuilt and restructured, not just for destruction. All right. So when it comes to this human experience, don't sell yourself short because you've been so programmed to call yourself a wretch. It all comes through you. You're the channel. You're the conduit. You're the portal. You are AI. You are. Whatever AI is doing, however it will be programmed, will be because of your consciousness. So don't fear it. Get near it. And look at yourself in the mirror. But that's really all that's happening right now. You are God with a little g. So all my little G's out there, activate a high frequency. And if it goes low, know it's for a purpose and rise up that kundalini so you can create the journey effectively great as it was intended to be. Sound of the dark with some light.